Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. In this episode, I'm gonna go over my top 5 tools that I think every paint protection film installer needs. Obviously, number 1, you're gonna need good quality squeegees. I get these on Amazon. Link will be in the description below. I like to have multiple different sizes, angles, small ones, large ones. I like to have a bunch of different variety. Even some vinyl wrapping hard cards. I use those for wrapping into seals and that type of stuff. If I want to wrap the film under a seal or a trim, that type of thing. Hard cards are super valuable to have. The link to these will be in the description below to the exact ones that I use. Next thing you're going to need is a good quality heat gun. Heat gun is super important to be using when you're doing your finishing work, your post heating, making sure all your edges are down. Basically the last thing that you are going to use on a vehicle before a customer comes to pick their vehicle up is going to be the heat gun. Like I said, heat gun's super important to make sure that those edges are down and that the film is dried out. I'm located in Manitoba, Canada, and I'm using a Mastercraft heat gun, so I picked these up at Canadian Tire. If you're in the US, obviously you don't have Canadian Tire, but any heat gun will basically do the trick. You could even use a hair dryer as well too. But if you got the money, go pick up a good quality heat gun. I think these are about 80 bucks, could be wrong. I'll have the link in the description below as well too. From there, you're gonna need some diabetics needles. Now, these are super important. Once you've done your paint protection film install, if you see moisture bubbles left behind or air bubbles, it's super important to have a good quality diabetics needle to go back and pop them. These are super fine point. I picked these up at our local pharmacy. I'm not sure how easily accessible these are gonna be where you are, but I go to my local pharmacy. They're not on the shelf. I actually have to go to the counter and I have to request them. And I just tell them that I wrap vehicles for a living and I need these to pop air bubbles, and usually they'll sell them to me. So not sure exactly what things are like where you are, but that's where I get mine. And I like to get the finest point tip as possible. That is going to help when you're popping the bubbles and you go over with your heat gun. That tiny little hole will self-heal shut. If you use too big of a needle, that mark might be more visible. So always get the smallest, tiniest ones that you possibly can. From there, you're going to need a good knife. I like to use the red dots. I'm going to have a link in the description below. And with that, you're gonna need good blades as well too. So I like to use the carbon fiber Olfa blades, 35 and 45 degree. I like to flip flop back in between each of those. Super good quality blades. They don't dull out super fast. You can do a lot of trimming and they're relatively inexpensive. And you're also gonna need a Olfa blade snapper. I mean, you can use any blade snapper for that matter, but you don't want to have these blade snap-offs just lying on the floor. Nothing good's going to come of that, so you need a place to snap those blades off, so make sure you get one as well too. Now the last thing, this is just a pure luxury item when you're beginning, and I think when you're starting your paint protection film install or your install journey, you know, you're gonna be getting your slip solution, tack solution spray bottles, and that's a good way to start out. But once you start doing more vehicles in a day, you don't always wanna be filling up your slip solution, tack solution bottles. And I 100% recommend getting the True Spray keg system. This is not a sponsored video by True Spray. I paid my own money out of my own pocket for this system. And I can honestly tell you, out of all the tools that I have ever spent money on in my paint protection film journey, this True Spray keg system is 100% the best money I've ever spent. What I had before this was just your standard keg system where you'd have to take and hook it up to an air compressor, and you'd have to pump it up, and the air compressor would have to run, and it'd be super loud in the shop. And as nice as it is to have this is a pretty good alternative to the True Spray system. This is annoying because when you have to fill it up, you got to pump it up, and if you don't have a big air compressor nearby, small air compressor is going to take quite a bit of time to get this thing up to the proper PSI. The true spray keg system, it's literally just battery operated. So you got this little pouch over here where your battery goes in. When you're done, you just recharge it. And once that thing's popped into place, you have this little switch on the side. You turn it on. It makes a little bit of noise while it pumps up the pressure in the keg. And that's all the noise that you're gonna have to deal with. You have consistent pressure the entire time you're doing your installation. And when you start to run out, this thing starts to make a little bit more noise. And that's just telling you it's time to refill it. But true spray keg system, I'll have the link to the exact system that I have in the description below. This is a 3-gallon. And like I said, it's the best money I've ever spent. And if this is a little bit out of your budget when you're starting out, personally, I would say stick to the spray bottles until you got the money to invest in a good spray keg system. It is truly a lifesaver when you're installing paint protection film. And like I said, I truly paid my own dollars for this. I'm not sponsored by them. That'd be great if I was, but I honestly cannot recommend the true spray keg system enough. So these are my top 5 things that I like to have in the shop when I'm doing my paint protection film install. So just to recap, you're gonna wanna have good quality squeegees and multiple of them, good quality heat gun for all your post heating, some good quality diabetics needles, the smallest tip that you can find for popping any of your moisture bubbles. You're gonna want a good knife and blade, and I like to use the red dot with the Olfa blades and also have the blade snapper. And last but not least, true spray keg system. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you leave a comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And like I said, if you guys are interested in any of these, I'm gonna have the links in the description below of this video.